I just recently came back from Philadelphia, and I did something that I haven't done in a long time when I was in Philly. I went digging, and I got some records. And I went to Long in the Tooth. I have a fat stack of records. So I'm going to go through this record haul. I'm going to needle drop some of these records, see what I got. The unique thing about Long in the Tooth, at least unique these days, is they did not have a record, a turntable there to needle drop before you buy. Which, man, I haven't bought records like that in a long time. Maybe I've gotten like some reggae 45s that way. But digging for samples, I've never bought just based off a cover and vibe. I mean, I shouldn't say never. I used to do it all the time, but I haven't done that in a long, long time. So this is going to be interesting. This is a fat stack. I'm going to play through the records. I'm going to needle drop. You'll be able to hear the audio. You know how copyright strikes work on YouTube. If you hear a long bit of silence, it's probably because it got claimed. So there's nothing wrong with the video. But I am going to try to edit it to where, you get a sense of what the sounds are, but not like, I'm not going to play anybody's songs here. And for some of the good stuff that I get into, or maybe even all of it, I'll put some links to Spotify if they exist for these records, so you can actually check out the music that I'm listening to. But let's see if I wasted my money. Let's get into that. All right, so big stack of records right here, all 12 inches. So first record up here. It's hard to believe that this wouldn't be dope, but this is Prism Music Unit Egypt Strut. I'm hoping, yeah, it says Arab Republic of Egypt Ministry of Culture. So it's really hard to imagine that there wouldn't be something dope on here. Okay. I mean, it's okay so far. It's not as dope as I expected so far. There's a lot of work put into this repress, that's for sure. And there's shit on here, but it's not what I expected. I kind of learned this on my own, but I will always quote and credit the great Rob Sonic, who, when I worked in a record store, we knew each other already from Ozone, but I worked in a record store called Gimme Gimme Records. Shout out to Dan Cook, who I think still runs Gimme Gimme out of Los Angeles, but he was in New York. And I used to work the counter. Long story short, Rob came in and was like, "Oh shit, you work here?" I don't think we were aware. And he was like, "Yo, if there's anything astrological, just buy it." And so I did follow that path on this one. This is the Astrology album. That's literally what it's called. So fits the description. It is pretty good odds that it's going to be good. So let's see. Let's see if this holds.
If you were born September 22nd to October 22nd, your sign is Libra, the 7th in the zodiac. Your ruling planet is Venus. Your keyword is balance. Your symbol is the scales.
Man, I hope there's music
As
on here.
Libra, balance
Oh my
is the key
God.
to your personality.
I paid
You are by
$20
nature
for a record
temperate
with vocals.
and harmonious person, and with your ruling planet being Venus,
It's 20
you have
bucks?
a great sense of charity. It would be wrong,
Alright.
however, to assume that you're a naturally balanced person. On the contrary, you may be the opposite, and in beautiful is more than
23rd.
unscrupulous and naturally
Fuck
were
me,
startlingly
man.
attractive.
Oh, fuck. It's not good. You failed me, Rob Sonic. I failed myself. Yeah, this is not a good record. So I bought this. This is a reissue. I'm not even going to play this because I already know what's on it. But if you have not heard Eugene McDaniels, I forgot the exact title, Headless Heroes of the Apocalypse, this is an amazing record. I really bought this actually to be outside in my living room where I have just a regular player turntable. Just chill and listen to this. I mean, I may sample it at some point, but I just bought this because it's a great record. It's a reissue. I paid full price for it. It's actually purple vinyl, apparently, but let's take a look at it just for the sake of a haul shot. But I know what it sounds like, and I know it's on Atlantic, so like I'm not gonna play it because it'll just get striked. Is this label? Did they not mark this purple vinyl? Is this purple? That shit ain't purple. That shit is black. Right? Nah, it is purple. Nah, that's purple. That's a dark fucking purple. But okay. This guy right here I have not heard of before. Robin Kenyatta. This record was not that expensive. I mean, it was 10, which is kind of expensive, but for what it is. He had a couple albums in there, and I almost bought more than one, but I was like, let me slow down and just get one in case it's not even what I think it is. Oh shit, that's fucking... This is a big sample right here. Well, nope, no sample snitching. If you know what this is, you know what this is. They flipped it too. So that's cool. That was dope. I mean, I can't sample it. It's already been sampled, but I'm sure there's something else on here. Usually records that have been sampled have other shit on them that you could fuck with. Yeah, that shit is dope. So, some good shit on here. Also sounds like a good record to just chill and listen to. So, that's usually a win-win. Alright, so this is definitely just bought because it looks crazy and because soundtracks are great. But I've not heard of this Clint Eastwood movie. It's called The Gauntlet. It's probably one of his better movies. This is probably why I haven't heard of it. But it is original soundtrack. They had a good soundtrack section in this record store along the Tooth. Ooh. Yeah, it's weird how for a score it all kind of sounds kind of similar. That one joint has got some dope drums on it. So it's only $10, so there's some good shit on there. Everything kind of sounds like a bunch of drunk guys and got together and played horns. But so this one kind of intrigued me because I didn't really know what to make of it. Maybe some of the English viewers and also like, you know, leave a comment below if you hear like whatever one you think you would flip or like that I should flip, you know, to the degree that I'm able to like let you hear audio. Like, you know, leave a comment on what you want to hear more about. So this record intrigued me for a few different reasons. Maybe some of the English heads that are here. This is original music from great BBC TV shows. So this was like only like $6. The thing that also appealed to me is you see this stamp right there. It says Colony. Colony was a record store up on Times Square in New York. And remember, I got this from Philly. In New York, that really specialized in scores and soundtracks, and they actually sold a lot of sheet music out of there for years. I got some of my early records out of Colony. It's too bad some of those places aren't around anymore. Colony lasted longer than I thought it had any right to. It was a huge record store that was really dedicated to just that stuff. So cool to see a Colony piece still floating around. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Well, that's not interesting. Sounds like shit, too. Oh, that's cool. I do see that there is electronic, it literally calls out electronic music, theme of open golf and Wimbledon. I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, you can see where I would go with something like that, I guess. Cool. You know, it's weird. Like, there was a time where I'd be really excited about a record like this, and I still am. It's not that I'm not excited about the music on the record, because it's pretty cool, especially for like a $6 one. It's just like, the more records I take on and keep, the more I think about, like, where the fuck am I going to put all these records? But this one here, dope Western score. This is the score to Bandolero, Jerry Goldsmith. So I figure there's something dope on here, but you can see the call letters WKCR 89 Tech 9. So very cool. Came from Colombia. What this one's got to offer. It's like a white label of a score. Yeah, there's some shit on here. So this is another one that I bought because it just was weird as fuck to me. This is called Dark Shadows. It was original music from ABC TV's Dark Shadows. Assuming that this is American ABC TV and not like something from England. I have never heard of this. It apparently involves a wolfman of sorts. So if anyone's ever heard of Dark Shadows, I guess it's a TV movie or a series. There originally was a poster included with this. That's not the record store's fault. It actually just is printed there. There is no poster, so somewhere there is a poster of a show that no one's heard of hanging somewhere in an attic. This record's slightly warped. That's annoying. Let's see what we got. It is waterlogged on the cover, so... Oh boy. Okay, so we know that's a sample that somebody's used. I know who used that too. Wow. No sample snitching. I know exactly what that's from. Wow, that's crazy. Legends. If you can guess it and you don't mind snitching, you could put it in the comments. But yeah, this is definitely... Wow, that's cool. That's cool. You know what it is. You know.
Though far away.
It's kind of crazy that I've come across two samples. This one is on a bigger song than the last one, but I don't typically... I mean, I have, but I don't always come across other people's samples. I don't know what this is, but I guess I like the cover. It's called Genesis Project by Craig Huxley. You can see old Craig back here. He's got dope-ass board, that's for sure. Let's get that on camera. Yeah. So I think these are replayed versions of scores. I see that he redid the Star Trek theme on here. Kind of made me feel like maybe... I mean, I'm not going to sample the fucking theme to Star Trek, but maybe if somebody wants to replay that, maybe some of their other stuff is cool. Assuming this is electronic music. Let's see. Sleeves here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously some ethereal, kind of early synth experimental music. You know, I would say this is kind of like a nice to have record. I don't know if I'm gonna make like a banger off of it, but I'll definitely get like a dope sound to layer into something off of something like this. So, all right, so this session, is I had to buy some reggae records, of course. So next couple are going to be some reggae joints. I didn't get any 45s from this spot. I don't know whether they had reggae 45s or not. It just wasn't what I was after at the moment. Usually that's what I buy in record stores now because I do DJ reggae. But anyway, Junior Mervin, legendary falsetto, amazing voice. That's dope. That's the B-side wins right there. That is dope. That's what I was hoping for. Admiral Bailey, you know, full Admiral Bailey album for $6. That's pretty cool. You know, it's not in the best shape, but I mean, it's the original pressing.
No, I'm not saying all you lovely girls do it, but some me don't danger. Yes, me I did it. Everybody lazy. Come on, no lazy. Why don't you stand me beer?
Cool Admiral Bailey record. Last reggae choice, Mutabaruka. If you're not a huge reggae fan, I would suggest starting with Yellow Man. Zungo Zung is one of the best albums ever made. But I would also suggest starting with Mutabaruka, who really is a Jamaican poet who made amazing music. You know, Mutabaruka is a good entry point if you're just like, you know, not going to go deep with it. I mean, his music is very deep, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying if you're not going to go deep with the genre, like Mutabaruka is somebody that's universal, you could really fuck with it.
You ask me if I have ever been to prison. Been to prison. Your world of murderers and thieves, of hatred and jealousy, of death. And you ask me if I have ever been to prison. I answer, yes. I am still there, trying to escape. Outcry!
Ooh.
To walk the streets, paved with blood, mud, mixed with sweat and tears.
Oof. Yeah, well, I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this record by myself, but you know what I'm saying. But yeah, you can hear what I mean. Like if you're a little, you know, not a big reggae person, like, you know, Mutabaruka's music is super universal. It's just amazing and challenging and really dope. Wasn't sure what to make of this one. I did get this from the reggae section. I didn't realize that, but it's produced by Sly and Robbie, but it's a group of white dudes. So Sly and Robbie produced for a lot of different people. And I'm curious, there's a song on here called Infinity Rap. I don't know if people start rapping on it. I don't know what to expect. But some of these early 80s crossover reggae clash style type dudes, like some of these records are really dope, whether you sample them or not. Ooh, drums.
In space for a tired crew. Just around the midnight hour.
So yeah, obviously it's supposed to be 45. And it's dope as a 45, but it's fucking tasty as a fucking 33. So I like it. It did deliver on what I thought it was going to. It has that American 80s sound combined with with the sound of Jamaica, so I like that. So I only got 2 records left as we come to the close here. These are Sound Library records, okay? I mean, a cover like this is just a straight mirror. It's pretty fucking cool. Even no matter what. This is from a company called Berwyn Laboratories. There you can see the setup right there. But yeah, let's see how this goes. I have some high hopes for this. Maybe I shouldn't.
The master disc for this side was cut from a 3rd generation tape, recorded and played through Berwyn Laboratories' perfectly clear recording system.
Oh boy.
Noise eliminator.
Oh boy. What the fuck? This is why I don't buy fucking sound libraries. Because sometimes you get the funkiest shit ever, and other times you get music that's meant to be played in the background of a fucking marching band, or a circus, or soap opera. This record sucks. Let's see if we get something great on the other side. Nope. Nope. I couldn't tell you why there are beeps and bops on that, but... So this record sucks. The reason this record sucks even worse, when you buy a record like this, is nobody's looking for this on the internet, right? Not only because it's got music that's not really that useful or fun on it, but also because it's just a test record, you know? So, like, that's the thing about sound libraries where you could get burned. It's like, it's not like I could just throw this on Discogs and be like, fuck it. You know, like, this gets sold to people like me and people like you that are looking for stuff to sample and it looks cool, so you buy it. That's a kind of like a lost art in digging with the Discogs era and the internet really is, you know, now people know what they're looking for. You know, they hear something on YouTube or they hear something on Spotify and they go looking for it and they go get it. I've done it a million times. And you're not digging and finding stuff like this, and this record really doesn't have much value. I have a little bit higher hopes for this one. I've had records, I should show you what it is. This is another record, I don't know what was this, Impetus. It's another Sound Library record. I have had stuff from Rogue before, and it has a stamp here. And, you know, you either know what that is or you don't, but that is DeWolf. And DeWolf was sort of like the badass Sound Library makers. Like, some of the songs that, especially in the late 90s and early 2000s, I knew one producer in particular, or at least I'd heard of one producer in particular from the New York scene that used a lot of DeWolf stuff. Again, no sample snitching, but I think most of his library is probably built off of DeWolf. And anyway, I've hyped this record up. Let's see what it sounds like. It's the last one, so... It's funny because the description is modern group sound suitable for achievement, industry, travel, sports, played by the James Asher Band. And it does sound like a travel video. Like, welcome to your Miami vacation. Well, your accommodations will meet your satisfaction. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil too much of that. That's got some potential. You know, it's not like Mouth on the Floor amazing, but it's a competent Sound Library record that I will fuck with pretty heavily, I think. Just so you can see their logo again without it being on a bag. Long in the Tooth is where I went to get these records. As far as Long in the Tooth, like I was gonna say, you know, in terms of reviewing them as a store, very old school style record store. But they had a big staff. They had like at least 3 or 4 people, unless they just had people that hang out there. But like they had like 3 or 4 people working there, which was impressive these days for a record store. Big record store, had the full square with the person in between the stair. You know, kind of like you know, like whatever that fucking movie about the record stores is. You know, where they're up on like a little perch and they kind of look down and they check you out with the records and all that, and they kind of run the show and can see whether anybody's stealing anything from up there and that kind of thing. Like I said, when I asked if they had a record player, the one guy looked at me like I asked to take records for free. I mean, it was like offensive. And I remember the era where when you shop for records, if you asked for a record player or asked to hear something, it was considered an offense. It was considered like you couldn't do that. There's even some record stores that would get pissed off if you took the records out of the sleeves. I remember getting yelled at a bunch of times at certain record stores. If you took the record out to see if it had scratches or whatever, they would yell. They'd be like, don't touch it. Don't touch, you know, if you take it out, don't touch it. So they didn't go that far with anybody in this record store, but it reminded me of that era in New York, that kind of record store. So I was glad to see that they were still there. Like I said, on the negative side, aside from nostalgia, there's really no reason to not have a record player in a record store, because I would have rather have needle dropped this, and I probably still would have spent the same amount of money, but I would have came home with just straight bangers instead of like a mixed bag and an adventure. But anyway, it was a good record store. It's pretty centrally located. I forgot the street that it's on. Let's see. Oh, Sansom Street. So it was on Sansom Street. Sansom Street's a really cool street in Philly. I have played Philly 3 or maybe even 4 times. Been to Philly a bunch of times and never really hung out there. And it was always like do a show and leave, do a show and leave, or like go to an event and get the fuck back home, because Philly is like super tempted to not stay overnight because it's only like 2.5 hours from New York, if even. So anyway, long story short, I got to like really chill and like be a tourist in Philly for about 2.5 days with my wife. And so Sansom Street has a lot of cool stuff. If you're looking to get away, do something with some friends or with a significant other, or, you know, if you live in Philly and haven't really been downtown lately, cool area, cool bars, little restaurants, you know what it is. Go and support them. I had a good experience overall for sure. Long in the Tooth. I feel like I've heard the name before, but never have been there. Thanks for checking this out. And again, leave some comments down below what record you're most interested in, what you want me to flip, what you might go flip. You know, if you've gone to Long in the Tooth, leave some comments and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to do some more like vinyl-oriented videos like this if this one turns out okay. Just to kind of screw around and get some content and have some fun. Peace, y'all.